The Fallout Worlds update is bringing 3 new LITE allies, each one with their own buffs, a new trend Bethesda seems to be going for with patch 30. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. 3 new allies are coming to the Wasteland as part of the Fallout Worlds update, as you probably know by now. I explored this news lightly in my latest video, and now I'm going to show you all the juicy details that I could gather so far. First of all, do let me tell you that 2 of them are free, completely free. They are rewards included in the Season 6 scoreboard, but one of them is going to cost atoms as part of the Atomic Shop. Daphne, Maul, and Sam are your new potential companions with patch 30, and they are all LITE allies, so that means no new quests at all, sadly. But the great news is that they come with a relatively new function, boosts. Some of them are very useful, as you are about to see. Moreover, they are all vendors too, with their own specific and themed inventories. Well then, the intro is done, let's dive into Daphne first. Daphne is a detective female girl with a very powerful alter ego. You can unlock her through Season 6 scoreboard for free at rank 25. Now, Daphne is the first ally child in 76 and one of the few children in the entire Wasteland. I can't even think of any other female child than the one from the dead buried cat random encounter. They're pretty rare. It's not looking very bright for the future of humanity in 76, huh? Now, Daphne's spawn item is a mix of children items, including a toy stash, balloons, a toy bunny, and a new bench. This mix of items is called Daphne's Toy Box. Here's the full list of items it features. There's even a backpack, it seems like. But who is Daphne really, and how does she end up at our camps? Did she lose her parents? Did she get lost? Well, that's a huge mystery, and I wouldn't be able to spoil you even if I wanted to. By day, she's a normal child, but when night falls, she becomes the inspector. Yes, the one from the comics. I could retrieve a decent number of dialogues, and surprisingly, none refers to her past, family, friends, or anything very specific to her life. It's a bit strange, to be honest. Daphne believes she has an alter ego, a very strong one. She thinks she is the inspector from the Unstoppables comics, and she is quite obsessed with this persona, like very obsessed. She also constantly talks about the other superheroes, and she seems to know the comics by heart, as to be expected from a true devoted fan. I just hope there's more background story here. Otherwise, I would say this child is very traumatized, and her only refuge is to live in this sort of dream superhero world she created. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though. I'm pretty sure there's something related to her past life. It's just not there among the things I discovered. Now, if you are wondering how she sounds like, here are some data mine dialogues from DSG and Mad Dog Rot.
That's right. By day, I'm Daphne, a mild-mannered assistant to help you with your camp. By night, I'm someone else, the Wizard of the Wasteland, a seeker of truth and justice. I'm the super and duper, one-of-a-kind magician detective, the Inspector. Abracadabra, Inspecto Changeo! You know what this camp needs? A full inspection, and I'm just the hero to do it! Hark, traveler! You approach the inspector, one of the 5 Unstoppables! Grognak is the muscle, the shroud and the mistress are the spies, and man-to-man does... I don't know, fishman stuff? 3 things. A good heart, a strong will, and most important of all, alliteration! I don't have a cape, so you can't have one either. The rules for sidekicks are strict, but fair.
Daphne is surely in sync with Season 6. She is a devoted and very dedicated fan, and as the inspector, she can grant you 2 different buffs. That's right, by daytime you can get 2 extra luck points and a sound alert whenever you're close to magazines in the world. Pretty handy to farm them without a real perk. Then by night, when she literally becomes the inspector, you can get a multi-buff featuring 1 extra perception, a higher chance to find more cabs, and canned food too. According to the data miner Garrus, the latest effect equals to the rank 2 of Can Do perk, which enables a 60% chance to find an extra canned good when you search a food container. Curious fact though, I found yet another buff for Daphne called Smoke Bomb, but it seems like Bethesda gave up on this one entirely because it is currently labeled as unused, as you can see. This could be because Daphne will be equipped with a walking cane, a steam pack, and a smoke bomb. Therefore, the smoke bomb perk. She seems to have a thing for smoke bombs. It must be part of her inspection work, somehow. In her files, it also says her default outfit is the Season 6 Inspector outfit, which looks like this, by the way, in case you were wondering. It's a red and gold superhero costume. It also comes with a matching hat and glasses. However, in her preview pictures, Daphne is dressed in some new rags. The only difference between day and night is the hat. So I'm assuming Bethesda used the Inspector outfit entry, but only enabled the hat, leaving the glasses and the outfit out, like disabling it completely. Moreover, Daphne is also a vendor and she will sell mostly toys, magazines, aka comics, pre-war food, and some junk. It's worth to check her pool on a regular basis, especially if you use magazines to boost or farm specific items. To conclude, I hope Bethesda disabled the ability for players to undress her and blocked the ability to have her walking around camps in her undies or with a slave collar, for example. I don't think it would do any justice to Bethesda's reputation, not at all. I mean, child abuse is not a joke anywhere, even if it's just a video game. But hey, maybe that's just me. Next, let me introduce you to Maul, the very first super mutant ally we are getting in 76. You can also unlock him for free through Season 6 scoreboard at rank 50 to be precise. Now, if you sided with Night Chin during the Brotherhood of Steel missions, I highly advise you not to invite him over. It would probably give him a heart attack to know your resident is now a super mutant. True betrayal, don't do that. Anyway, Maul is a very funny individual, and unlike Gale at the crater, he seems to like humans. Well, at some extent. His spawn item is Maul's cauldron, this sort of giant cooking station with meat all over the place, very messy. This is the full item list, part of his spawn item, so you can see everything it's coming with. I think players will be able to use it to cook meals, just like it works with Yasmin's stove. Moving forward, Maul loves meat, and he is obsessed with his hero, Grognak. Smash, smash. There are lots of dialogues related to him even, but before we get there, Maul comes with a small affinity system. But it's nothing like the major ally progression system, it's something simple. Basically, players need to train with Maul. The more you talk to him and gain his trust, the more he wants to open up and talk back, thus unlocking new dialogue options to you. To earn affinity with Maul, players must train with him, which also gives them an interesting boost, 1 extra strength, plus 20 radiation resistance, and all melee weapons weight 30% less. It's an awesome buff for melee builds actually. It also helps if you wish to slightly increase your carry weight, so don't forget to train with Maul for many reasons. As for what he carries around, he wears heavy super mutant armor with a Grognat headband to show his true devotion, and a melee weapon. It can be either a board, a sledgehammer, or a super sledge. He likes to vary, what can I say? Now, when it comes to his story and dialogues, they are mostly related to the Unstoppables, again in total sync with Season 6 team. Maul makes a lot of jokes. I personally love his dark humor so far. Here's a preview of how he sounds like.
Maul say hello, but he not mean it. Maul does not like elves. Arrows are same as guns. For cowards, decapitalist, cannot stop Maul, who believe in free market. If man-to-man king of ocean, that make him richest unstoppable. Own most real estate. Good. Human learning. Less talk. Good talk. Human obsessed with love. Love, love, love. Even perfect word like crush. Human twist into mushy feelings. That not what Maul mean. When Maul say stupid thing, he feel puny like human.
Alright, Maul loves meat, and as such, he sells meat-related plans, including tenderizer plans from Meat Week, so it's a great alternative to get them if you just missed the event. He also sells the meat bag stash and other things like meat cleavers and meat hooks. Bethesda has confirmed he will sell different types of meat too, so if you are a carnivore, you might want to keep an eye on his goodies. He might have something of your interest every now and then. To finish this point, Maul is surely bringing diversity into the ally system, and despite being a light ally, he surely can bring a ton of utility into your gameplay. What about Sam Nguyen? Well, he's the new mechanic in town, and he's coming to impress you with his range of buffs. But first things first. Right now he's labeled as an Atomic Shop item, which most likely means Bethesda won't release him for free. It will cost some atoms, it will be the first paid ally ever in 76, which makes things quite hard to predict in terms of price, but judging on how it's quite a lot of content condensed or packed into one single entry, I would risk to say it will cost at least 1000 atoms. Now, Sam is no ordinary guy. He is a mechanic who is talented with musical instruments, most of them, and good at adapting and surviving. His spawn item is a weapons workbench though. Pretty generic, I know. But do you know what's even more generic? The fact that he wears the existing settler mechanic costume. It seems like Bethesda didn't put a lot of effort into poor Sam here, at least in this regard. They just threw a bunch of existing items into him and decided players must pay to unlock him on top of that. Why though? Don't ask me, really, I don't have the answer for that. Well, the great news is that he can offer you a daily buff for 30 minutes at random, according to the Fallout wiki. You can either get 2 extra charisma, double harvesting of wood and flora, repair all gear at 130% durability, camp and workshop items cost 24% less to craft, and junk weighs 50% less. The buffs are awesome, but the fact that you can only get 1 at random every 24 hours is a huge letdown. Anyhow, Sam is also a trader, and according to the data miner Garrist, he sells mostly junk and scrap, possibly other things too, like magazines and pre-war food, as he stated, because the inventories seem to be shared between Sam and Daphne, but I don't think it's totally shared. You know, it's not the exact thing. Some things are shared, but some are specific to each ally. In my view, it would also make sense for him to sell tools and weapons too, like a pipe wrench or a tire iron. I guess we will find out soon enough though. Lastly, I've gathered lots of Sam dialogues, both in text and voice, so I will conclude Sam's preview with this. Check it out.
I'm Sam, and I kinda just walked in. I can sell you some gear, give you a tune-up, or we can just shoot the shit. Need some junk? I've got plenty. Let's trade. Take a look. Well, I can fix your weapons. I'm pretty good at that. Shooting them? Not so much. Anyways, that took a weird detour. What pictures did you take with that camera? Anything interesting? So, about the Brotherhood, is it steel as in metal, or steal as in, like, taking shit? From what I've heard, seems like a little bit of both. There's a Mothman. I wonder if there's a Moth Woman. Or is that just the light he's drawn to? Makes for a good love song either way.
Alright, we are entering the outro now, and I would like to remind you that these 3 new allies share the same ally or companion tags as previous released ones. They are essential NPCs, which cannot be killed. As such, they have tags to ignore basically all sorts of damage and stagger effects, such as crippling, bleeding, poison, or even nukes. With that being said, I want to thank Garust for providing a lot of information I shared with you in this video, and Madocrot for providing most of the dialogue sounds. Let's move to the final conclusion now. I think Daphne, Maul, and Sam bring a new feature into the game. I mean, it's not completely new, we already have ally buffs, but this sort of new buff we didn't have so far. Now you can plan your gameplay based on the buff you get. Sure, there is a cooldown for such buffs, but still, for example, Maul can benefit any player at any time by boosting their carry weight in different ways. Daphne can also help you farm specific items, magazines, caps, and canned items. You just have to talk to her during day or night depending on the buff you need. On the other hand, Sam provides buffs at random, which means you need to plan and adapt to whatever he gives you. Let's say he unlocks the double harvest buff. If that's the case, then it's probably wise to farm some wood for the next 20 minutes or so if you are rather low on it. All in all, I think these new LITE allies come with added value while compared to the previous ones. Let's not forget they are all traders as well, and some of their goodies will surely interest some of you, especially to new players. Before patch 30, we only had 3 trader allies out of 7, now we are going up to 6 out of 10 in total. That's a pretty decent boost, don't you think? Well, that's my preview for the new allies. I hope you learned something new here. If that's the case, consider leaving a like and subscribe for more content like this. I am Marta Branco, and as usual, I want to leave a huge thanks to all of you out there who enjoy my content. Now, I will see you very soon in the next video. Until then, take care, adios, bye bye!